It's been nearly 5 months since George Floyd died, gasping for air, pinned to the ground with a policeman's knee on his neck. The gruesome killing in Minneapolis thrust racial justice onto the US election agenda and built national momentum for reforms to end police violence. But in the city where it all started, it's been difficult to turn political opportunity into fundamental change. Plett Usher returned to Minneapolis to find out why.
In the neighborhood where George Floyd died, locals who know the streets have stepped in to secure them, with regular patrols to try and prevent crime before it happens, to safeguard the community without relying on the police.
We're just helping our community feel safe against people that were supposed to protect us. I mean, they haven't been protecting us like we should be protected, so we take it upon ourselves to protect ourselves without using weapons and whatnot. We're peacemakers.
This is a war.
Minneapolis was ground zero for a movement to change the way the country is policed. And with the eyes of the world watching, the city was going to set an example. But it's struggling with just how to do that and facing a backlash.
Our commitment is to end our city's toxic relationship with the Minneapolis Police Department, to end policing as we know it.
In the charged atmosphere after the Floyd killing, these city council members pledged to dismantle a policing system long accused of racism and build something new. But things got complicated quickly. In this northern suburb, there was a dramatic rise in gun crime, shots ringing out nightly, whizzing through windows and hitting houses. Residents are so fed up they're suing the city. They believe the council's declaration emboldened criminals and demoralized the police department. Whatever the case, dozens of officers have left the force, quitting or claiming medical leave.
We have historically had victims of violence by police. That's not new. We live in an urban community. But the siege that we are under right now with gunfire every single night, you bring in extra force to stop this from happening in our community.
Bureaucratic obstacles have slowed the council's plans. Critics say there are too many unanswered questions, and advocates acknowledge that anyway, this wouldn't happen overnight.
Bullets are not theoretical. We are seeing a rise in gun violence in our city, and we have to figure out that question. That's precisely the problems we need to be able to solve if we want to divest from our current policing system and invest in something new.
In the meantime, activists have staked a hold on territory as leverage to press their case. They've created their own alternative, a police-free zone around the spot where a dying George Floyd gasped for air. The conversation has changed since that pivotal moment, but the police force hasn't, not yet. And little's been done to prevent something like this from happening again. Plett Usher, BBC News, Minneapolis.